everybody, welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, but a very different Hearts of Iron 4. Yes, again, we're doing a mod spotlight. This mod spotlight is called Red World. Basically, it's what if the Soviet Union won the Cold War? So you can see the United States is very, very changed. Now, I will give you a little bit of an insight. I tried recording this once before, but my mic unplugged halfway through. So I kind of know what we're doing. So just to give you a little hint on that. But kind of going to go a little bit of a quicker rundown of a little bit. Like last time when I recorded, it was more in depth. This one going to be a little bit shortened, so I apologize. But the Soviet Union, of course the Soviet bear, their leader right now, just hanging out in the Soviet Union. The Warsaw Pact is still here. The People's Republic of China is here as well. They are not in the Warsaw Pact. Kind of like history, they never joined the Warsaw Pact. Surprisingly enough, they never did. Most of Europe, though, is in the Warsaw Pact. So that kind of sucks a ton. But we have the Warsaw Pact, of course, gigantic communists. We have the British Isles Protection Union, which is basically the British Isles by themselves kind of deal. And then we have the Democratic League, kind of, I'm guessing, like NATO, a destroyed NATO. Canada is the ruler of this NATO, so that's nuts. Also in the beginning, while I was loading up this, there was a, the background images for the, while you're loading Hearts of Iron 4. Donald Trump was holding up a Time magazine, and it was Donald Trump, the President of Canada. So put that in mind when you're playing this game. Donald Trump might be the President of Canada at some point. Pretty cool stuff. In this mod, the Korean War was a success for North Korea. Kim Jong-un got North Korea fully under his grasp. A united Korea. Probably not the way that most Americans would like to see that happen, but a united Korea nonetheless. Japan is, of course, national conservative. We, on the other hand, the American Republic is who I'm playing as. We are nationalist. Under the Republican Party, we are nationalists, so that's pretty cool. In this mod, we kind of think that Ronald Reagan was terrible, which is kind of awful, just because, I thought Ronald Reagan was good in, the regular bit, but I guess you could see it because Ronald Reagan, in this mod, Ronald Reagan was there for the collapse of the United States. So you're probably wondering, why am I going and making war plans at the moment against Illinois? Because when I did this last time, Illinois here, a centralist, actually not centralist, a liberal nation, they're just, hanging out. They have no army. So the American Republic, I'm going to get some time going here. The American Republic, here we go, the rise of the Republic. I want to read this to you. I've read this once before, but I might have a little bit more screw-ups this time, so it's going to be fun. The cowardly President Ronald Reagan once said that America is lost, that the democratic and capitalist values we held dear, have failed in the face of the Soviet Union. But it is not these words the Republic lives by. Instead, we are guided by the vision of our savior, President Bush. 4 years since the collapse of the United States, we have been cast aside as the remnants of the little legitimacy on the world stage. We are considered the backwater of the old USA, even when compared to our less than prosperous Midwestern neighbors. So, now there is only one path for the Republic, a new awakening. If we are to break free from the chains of history, it must be said that this time, for the rise of the Republic, we shall take back what is rightfully ours and unite the United States once again, once and for all. So this is kind of the last little bit of what would have been the modern United States. Now you can see that we're starting in 2010. Figured out that this year there will be an election, which is fantastic. Basically, if you do political focus here, which I'm not going to do this time, Actually, just kidding, I will. It's going to be smart. But if you go down the political focus tree, you'll go down only the spirit of the nation. You can't do communist. You can't do democratic, which that kind of sucks. You have to choose that in the election coming up. But let's go ahead and take a look now, a little bit more detailed, of the national focus. So this is the economic focus here. This way going down, you're basically going to be grabbing a lot of your industry and your things like that. Cool thing is, you jump down here, you go to industrial plan, and jump down. You have to choose at some point, civilian program or military program. That kind of sucks. That sucks that you have to choose between that. Honestly, if I had to choose, though, I'd go military just because it's smarter that way, because you could build up civilian factories all the time. You don't have to really worry about that. Military factories are a good, easy thing to go by because right now we only have one. We got one military factory for the whole bunch. So that's exciting. We're going to go ahead and build the M16A4 real quick while we had that going. But let's go ahead and continue looking at this. Now you can go political focus here. You can choose Democratic, Nationalist, or Communist. Now, I'm guessing if you're playing as the American Republic, you're not going to go communist because you want to see if you can destroy the Soviet Union. I'm guessing that's why the most of you are probably going to play this. Or some of you might just play as the Soviet Union, take over the entire world. So if you go down Democratic here, you have a bit to choose from. The New Democrat, which I don't really know what you would basically call that. The Moderate Socialist, which is apparently still a Democrat. Liberal Focus, Centralist Focus, or National Conservative. Kind of just depends on which one you can choose. Once you get to here, you can basically choose what you want. And after that, kind of go down their individual trees, which is awesome. I think that's really, really cool. Welfare state, also something that kind of looks a little communist, but I don't know, monthly population, you get 2, which is awesome. Research time, -1%. That's actually pretty good. So, you can go down here. The nationalist side, you can choose to stay completely nationalist or go fascist, which I don't know if you would want to do, just because if you're doing this from a historical perspective, like I'm most likely going to be doing if I continue this as a full series, fascism kind of died in World War II. It came in World War II, the kind of the beginning of the World War II, like 1930, like I guess you could say 1935. Kind of came in, or when Mussolini, I guess you could say when Mussolini took power, that's basically when fascism was on the rise. So fascism here, I wouldn't really choose, because fascism came and died. So kind of just depends on you. You can, it is here for you to choose in your merry way. You can become a full fascist and restore military prowess. There we go, prowess. Sorry, my bad, I have not seen that word in so long. Or you can go extremely nationalist, which is cool. You get a nationalist education, recruitable population plus 2%, a nationalist military too. You can do the 2 of them. You don't have to choose, which is awesome. And then you go down and you just keep going, which is cool. So if you want to be completely like just tons and tons of war, then you could do it that way, which is very cool. Sorry if I seem a little bit distracted. There are some tornado warnings, not really by me, but by a little bit of where my family lives. So I'm constantly kind of checking the radar to see if those tornadoes are anywhere close, so I apologize. Socialist side, kind of basically what you would choose. You have the revolutionary socialists, which is pretty cool. You have the old Bolsheviks, so basically going to communism. And then you have the new Bolsheviks. So that's pretty cool. You get to choose their individual trees as well. And then you have foreign affairs, which is something very, very interesting. So you can establish connections just to give you a little bit more political power. You can go to Europe, Asia, Africa, and America. You can choose all of these. They do not have to be, if you choose one, you can't do the other. But you can choose all of these. So you can go straight down to our own way. So you can create your own factions, which is pretty cool. You can push for the pact and try to sign with the Soviet Union, I believe. Yes. Or you could push for the League and try to go for the Democratic League, basically destroy NATO, which is awesome. You can go to America, reorganize the Union. which is, or recognize the Union, my bad. So basically, you recognize the northern states basically as the, oh no, it's the UAPR, the actual communists, and recognize the remnants and recognize the Commonwealth. So cool. Then you can recognize the Commonwealth, which you actually just make friends with the Commonwealth instead of the UAPR, or you can recognize the remnants of the United States and choose to go with the American Republic. Kind of just depends on you. And then you have your military side of things. So, America. We're going to talk about it. American People's Commonwealth. These are the kind of revolutionary socialists, the new socialists up in the northern states. You got your northern communists, revolutionary socialists, and then you got your southern nationalists under Donald Rumsfeld, and up north, you got Noam Chomsky. I'm guessing that's how you say that. Then you have Illinois, who is a liberal nation. You have the Midwestern Union, which is centralist. The Great Lakes Republic, which is moderate socialist, but still technically democratic. Montana, who is just straight frickin' fascist, which is terrifying. Union of Lincoln, which is National Bolshevik. Utah, which is National Conservative. Arizona, which is liberal. Texas, which is also nationalist, under James Young. Cool. And then you have the UAPR, which is straight commie. So, the UAPR is going to be pretty tough, because I'm guessing they'll probably join with the Warsaw Pact. So by the time you actually get over here, you need to be in a faction of some sort. Because if you're not, you're going to die. So that's basically how the United States goes. Canada, they are National Conservative under Preston Manning, which is pretty cool, pretty awesome stuff. So they are basically the leaders of broken NATO. Mexico actually has a little bit of southern Texas and a little bit of New Mexico. Texas actually has a little bit of New Mexico too. They are National Conservative. And you can see that some of these guys actually do some stuff. Their leaders give them a little bit of a boost, which I think is pretty cool. So, sorry if this video... Oh, no. So sad. I'm going to see if that pops up later because I'm watching a live stream of the weather right now to see how everything is doing because I know the person that is going out and doing the weather stuff. By the way, yesterday I went out and actually storm chased and that was baller. So let's go ahead and continue. The research side of things. We'll jump into the research now. It's basically straight modern day. If you remember the modern day mod, the Millennium Dawn modern day mod that I played a ton of, it's basically that. So that's freaking awesome. I think that's so cool. We can research nuclear reactors, and that's another thing that kind of sucks. You don't have nukes. And I'm really surprised by that because that's what really drove the Cold War between the United States and the Soviets. I mean, God, the Cuban Missile Crisis, you had tons and tons and tons of nukes, the building of nuclear bombs, you had the space race. I mean, it'd be cool if you had another thing over here for the space race like it did in the Fatherland mod. That would be pretty cool because you were basically going through, in the Fatherland mod, a kind of Cold War between Germany and America, which I also thought was pretty cool. I mean, just that alone. So the research is basically just straight modern day, which I think is awesome. Civilian factories, what we want to do, you can build hospitals now, which give you more recruitment capabilities, and you can build research centers, which give you more research capabilities, which I have no idea what those actually do yet, because I haven't built them up. So I want some military factories, because we do not have a lot of them. And then I want some more civilian, because we're going to need those. So we're going to get those started. I want to get... we can't at the moment. We'll have to wait until they can further build things. We do have no divisions of basic training. We do have some unassigned divisions, one of them being in Washington, D.C., which you still own as the American Republic, but is surrounded by the American People's Commonwealth, which at the moment aren't doing anything but doing political focuses and stuff. So, it's pretty cool. So soon enough, we need to justify against Illinois. So let's go ahead and boost her on up now. Surprisingly enough, I can't load this video. And I have no idea why. So, here we are, the 2010 Winter Olympics. I think the French are hosting this one. The 2010 Winter Olympics are a brief sigh of relief for the IOC, which is currently being choked by a war for the 2016 Summer Olympics, in which both the American Republic and the Soviet Union have presented bids. Now, however, the international community can put aside its political differences and marvel at the sporting achievements of every nation at the Aberville Winter Olympics. For years, the French government has been planning a grand opening ceremony to finally showcase the country's splendor, being the first time they've hosted the Olympics in more than 4 decades. Tickets are disappearing, the alpine towns are filled with crowds, and the athletes are ready. So the 2010 Winter Olympics are happening at the moment, which is pretty awesome. Yazov is dead. My God, that is awful. 13 more political power in order to get that going. But the Soviet Union, their leader has been shot. Terror in the streets of Leningrad as the chairman Yazov was attending a state tour of a recently opened European Libertarian Museum. One of his supposedly loyal guards opened fire on the head of state, killing him almost instantly. As the rogue bodyguard was terminated by his colleagues, the other Politburo, I'm guessing that's how you say that, members rushed to Yazov's side, only to see the bloody mess that was until that moment the most powerful person in the world. Who will run the Soviet Union now? We'll have to see. There we go. We got a new chairman here, Alexander Rutsky. I don't know how you say that. A loyal member of the Nationalist Economic Reformist faction within the Soviet government, has just been elected the chairman of Yazov's successor. The Politburo member has called for extensive economic reforms, but few political changes, unlike his reformist colleagues. Especially those in exile, his foreign policy views are unknown to most, even within the Soviet Union, which makes his leadership unpredictable and scary for many. So there we go. We have Alexander Rutsky. So that actually confirms a question that I had before. That could you choose the leader of the Soviet Union after that shooting? And you can't, because when I was playing earlier trying to record this, guess who came into power? Vladimir Putin came into power. Yep. Vladimir Putin came in to lead the Soviet Union. So I think that was pretty freaking funny. So can we justify against Illinois? 10 more, damn it. Gosh. Okay, so we need to get up to 50. Got it. I'll just wait for that then. And then we'll keep going on 5 speed. So this is going to be pretty fun. Let's go ahead and start building up a navy. Might as well while we're here. I want about 4. I'm going to change it up since the last time. 2 into destroyers. And then about 1 into a light cruiser. Probably going to be smart. Okay. Let's go. How are we doing? Alright, so we're good. We can justify against Illinois. Yes, we can. 250 days to get that done. Let's go ahead and be ready for this assault. I want you to be just as aggressive as possible. You do whatever you feel necessary to win this war. So basically, if you take over Illinois, you get a little bit bigger, number one, so you get a little bit more building power for the United States, or the American Republic, I should say. So we can do foreign power, or foreign affairs, and I will do that one. I will wait a little bit on doing some economic things, because, I don't know, it's easier that way. So, I'm trying Sorry about this. I'm trying to see if I can get this loaded in. The volume will be all the way down so you guys won't hear that, which is good. So we have enough political power now to modify our government. So in the government tab, you got laws and government, so you can choose between your economies, export focuses, and, you know, all of your troop managements and stuff like that. You also get ministers for your cabinet, research and production, and military staff. So you got a whole new section here. Let's go ahead and work on economics, I think. No. Which one do I want to work on? Let's go ahead and get you. Research time of negative 0.60. And then construction speed of nuclear reactors plus 10%. It's pretty baller. We want that as soon as possible. Yeah, I can't. What the heck? I'm so sorry. I am a little bit distracted. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with these storms, and I cannot load the video, and it makes me upset. But let's go ahead and continue. We got some more military factories, finally. Let's see what we can do for them. Next one is support equipment. Obviously, we want to get that as soon as possible. When will this justification be done? The 2nd of November, so we're actually a little bit behind schedule of what I was doing last time. So I'm surprised. I wonder what this man's going to do. Of course, he can do basically whatever the hell he wants. He is the strongest man in the world, which is terrifying. The People's Republic of China have done nothing so far, and so has Korea. Because you can't call them North Korea anymore. They're actually a full Korea now. So we got foreign affairs. We can do established connections, and we can basically choose by that point who do we want to basically hang out with. So I'm going to do established connections. I do want to see what we can get ourselves into. November 2nd is when we're going to have this. Huh. I may actually have to choose a president this time. Weird stuff. I didn't think I was actually going to have to choose a president, but looks like I am going to have to choose president. Let's go ahead and continue time. That's very odd. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out this video thing. Let's see, what can we do? Not really much at the moment. We could train up some troops, but because we don't have the military factories yet to even think about doing that, I'm not gonna. Okay, so we got all of our research done basically at one time, which is fantastic. Go ahead and get improved construction tools. Can we jump down here? We can. Industrial robots would be a smart plan. Heavy equipment so that way we can get some more construction done. I should recruit or try to research nuclear reactors. Honestly, that would be a smart idea. We do have outdated equipment now. We need to start building up some M4s. Sweet deal. That's awesome. Illinois, you will soon be mine, but not Chicago, which sucks. That's awful. But oh well. Economics minister. Foreign minister. Foreign minister's a little bit... Let's go ahead and get Simon Rice, a renowned general. Just because at the moment we are nationalists, so we're going to want to get mostly generals and things to lead us. So, we got established connections. We can go our own way and create factions with each other. We can push for the League, but we need to get the Canadians to like us at least at 31. So we can push for that, but I'm going to choose go our own way. See if we can choose to make our own factions. Maybe then we can actually make a faction with Texas. That would be cool. I think that'd be really cool. We're gonna want to get some mechanized going. No, not mechanized yet. We're gonna want to get some motorized going. Just lying. Let's go ahead and trade with, trying to see if there's anybody. Looks like Indonesia's gonna have to be our only one. They are socialist, very communist, but basically when like 75% of the world is communist, you kind of just gotta choose. What's worse, not getting trade in or trading with a potential enemy? And I see it as, you know, we might as well just get the stuff while we can. Let's go ahead and continue going. We're close to being able to take you out, Illinois. We're very close. I do enjoy this. I don't like to make mod spotlights very long. just because they're spotlights. They're not really supposed to be very, very long. What I was talking about in the last time that I tried to record this is the American People's Commonwealth and the American Republic. If you kind of squish those two together as one nation, basically America basically owns its territory before, like, President Polk, because President Polk basically gave us all of this territory, a ton of it. So, and got us, like, the Oregon territory too from Britain. But if you squeeze those two together, it would basically be what it was before President Polk. I guess you can kind of see this as a new kind of Civil War thing. Only the South now has Washington, D.C., not the North. So that's kind of like what you could see it as. So we went our own way. We can condemn the USSR, which is probably not the smartest idea. Honestly, probably not smart. Military focus, we could go land and things, but we don't really need to worry about that right now. Let's go ahead and go for Europe. New military factories. Now we need to get mechanized. Oh, we have another one. And we can get towed artillery, which don't have the tungsten for, but we're going to go ahead and trade that with India, because I do know that India is democratic, which is very, very good, yes. We do have the opportunity to choose a scientist, which I do want nuclear scientist. I should have chose that before, but I wonder if that bumped down our research time, and it looks like it did. We're only at the 300 days now, so very cool. We're close, damn it. We're going to destroy you very, very soon. Here we go. Awesome. Let's go ahead and go down to 3 speed, and let's declare war on Illinois. Cool stuff. So be aggressive as you can be. Take basically whatever. Drive straight into St. Louis if you can. Would be fantastic. Yep, there we go. We took St. Louis. Illinois is taken. And we have Illinois as part of the American Republic now. Sweet deal. Let's go ahead and line up over on Texas, because if we snag Texas too, then that's going to be fantastic. We could try to gain the Great Lakes Republic, and this is what I was waiting for. November 8th. Here we go. Who do we want to be president? This was going to be the little bit of cliffhanger that I was going to do in the last one. It's going to be for this one too. So we get to choose who becomes president. So we get a second term for Rumsfeld. We get the son of the great leader, which changes our popularity of nationalists to 5%. And Jeb Bush becomes the leader of the Nationalist Republican Party. We need a stronger president and choose national renewal. And then I guess later we will choose a president from that, or more freedom and liberty for the Independence Union. So I want you guys to choose, who do you want to be president? I'm thinking George Bush, because they loved George W. Bush. I'm thinking if we choose Jeb Bush here, it would probably be a smart idea for our national unity. People will love it. But it kind of just depends on you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Mod Spotlight. If you did, give it a like down below. Tells me you want me to make this a proper series. Comment down below, who do you want to be president? So that way if we do make a big old series of this, you'll be able to choose. I might be doing, if we do make this a series, I might be doing a second series of this mod, probably particularly with a YouTuber by the name of SacredScout. So if you do know him, go ahead and go check him out. If you don't know him, go ahead and check out SacredScout. He is awesome. He plays a lot of Hearts of Iron 4 content. He is a great guy. So go and check him out. He does a lot of mod spotlights. Again, a lot of Hearts of Iron 4 content. Hopefully at some point he'll get Stellaris so we can play that too. Wink winks, Sacred. Go ahead and go get that. But we might be doing this mod together. Kind of just depends on what we choose. So hopefully you guys still enjoyed the episode. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, Glenn Games signing off as always. Take care, everyone.